speaker. This is someone that always kind of sits in the background, and no one really kind of, he doesn't sit at the front, but he's the most beautiful God brother that I know, and he has such a beautiful voice. He's so talented, he's so humble. He spent pretty much his whole life in serving Srila Gurudev, and I'm really fortunate that he has come and agreed to actually speak with us and glorify Srila Gurudev. I'm going to stop here before I start embarrassing him. It's none other than our Shriman Madhukar Prabhu.
Okay, Dandava Pranam. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Can you hear me okay? Okay, cool.
Yes, brother.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Namane Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. I'm speaking for like 10 minutes, right?
15.
Until
15.
15. Okay. So first of all, I offer pranam, of course, to Srila Gurudev and to Srila Prabhupada, to our Param Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, and all Guru Varga, and also to all my Gurudev's huge family, all the devotees of Madhav Maharaj and all of Gurudev's sannyasis and all of Gurudev's dear senior devotees, Shamarani Mataji, Uma Didi, our huge family. I offer my pranam to everybody, and I ask their blessings that I can speak something about Gurudev, because I haven't really had true darshan of Gurudev like everybody else has had. So it's only by their mercy that I can say something. So yeah, I'm not so well prepared today. I don't have a very good excuse, but I was just, while Madhav Maharaj was speaking, I just wrote down a couple points I want to mention. And by the way, these memories, like Brajanath Prabhu's glorifications, and these memories are so nice. I really want to get them typed up, and then we can put them on this website, gurudevmemories.com. Yeah, anyways, this is such a nice service you're doing, you and Yashodanandan Prabhu. And, okay, so, yeah, we've been having a Srimad Bhagavatam class every morning throughout Chaturmasya, and we came across this really awesome verse, and it just really reminded me of Gurudev. It's Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirti Kurvanti Tirthani Swanta Stena Gadabhrita. This is, what is it? It was Yudhishthira Maharaj. He was speaking to Vidura, and he was saying to Vidura that, my Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Your holy places personified, because you carry the personality of Godhead within your heart. Therefore, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. And really, we see Gurudev, every place that he went became a place of pilgrimage. But not even more than that, he's saying, like Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that all the places that you go to becomes a tirtha, a holy place. But even with Gurudev, it was even more than just a holy place, but he actually turned that place into Vrindavan. You know, he turned it into the Dham, not just any tirtha, but into the Dham itself. And I mean, I think devotees of everybody who's been to Badger, you can tell that it's really like a holy place. It's the only, like, it really feels like a holy place. It's not, you're not in America when you're in Badger, you know, you're in an actual holy tirtha. You're in Vrindavan, actually. And something Gurudev used to, Amal Krishna Prabhu, some years ago, I remember he was glorifying Gurudev and he mentioned the song Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kutire. Gurudev used to always have us sing this verse as this song, and he'd have people stand up and explain it. I remember once he had Vishaka Didi explain it, and other people. Like, this is like a very Gurudev song. And you can see how Gurudev really embodied the words of the song. Like, what is it? Let me just really quickly, anyhow. Whatever. I don't have the song in front of me, but I'll just from my memory. Yeah. First we go to Radhakund and Govardhan, the hills of Govardhan, Yamuna River, Kusum Sarovar, Manasi Ganga, the Yamuna, Vamsivat, Gokul, Dhirasamir. He'd take us to all these places. And then there's all the different elements, like the deers, the birds, the breeze of the Malaya hills, the peacocks and bumblebees, the pastimes with the Murali flute, all the footprints in the dust of the lands, the clouds, springtime, all these elements, and then it ends that Yugala Vilase Anukula Jani Lila Vilasa Udipaka Mani. I know that all these elements are most favorable to the divine couple's loving exchanges, and thus I consider them udipan, stimuli that invokes remembrance of their playful, amorous pastimes. And then this part is really what it's like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is writing about Gurudev. It feels like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that, but yeah, he says, "E saba chodata kahi nahi jao, e saba chodata para na harao." I will not go anywhere giving up such stimuli. All this udipan, all these, this Vrindavan Dham, all these different, things that are favorable for the divine couple's lila, all these different elements. And so I'll never go anywhere giving up this, because to abandon them is to give up my very life. And then Bhaktivinoda says, please listen, O Khan, your udipan is my very life and soul. Tua udipaka hamara paran. And so we see that, Gurudev fully embodied this verse. And so, no, it wasn't possible to take him out of Vrindavan. It wasn't possible to bring him into America. Gurudev never actually truly went to these countries in the external, like, he never really truly went to these countries because he never left Vrindavan. Gurudev always, I will not go anywhere giving up all these things, because to abandon them is to give up my very life. And so, because there's also a saying that you can take the tiger out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the tiger. And so because Gurudev was so absorbed in this, he was always in Vrindavan, truly, then Vrindavan was anywhere he went, when you were in Gurudev's proximity, you were really in Vrindavan. And just last month, Vishnu Prabhu, on GurudevMemories.com, Vishnu Prabhu, he has, let me see if I can find it really quick. He said that, this is Vishnu Prabhu's memory in Houston. This is when Gurudev first came to Houston. And he said, I got to drive Srila Gurudev back from the airport. And in my foolishness, I thought, Gurudev is coming to America for the first time. And generally, people get very excited to see the freeway here and the roads, because in India, the roads are so bad. And even the roads in England are not as amazing as the roads in the US. Especially Houston has amazing wide freeways. So I said, Gurudev, how do you like the roads here? And Gurudev said, I'm only saying Mangali, Premgali. What roads? Like this, he saw Braj everywhere. He really saw it. It was not theoretical. He lived in Vrindavan because he carried Vrindavan in his heart, and he wanted to give Vrindavan to all of us. So that was Vishnu Prabhu's memory. So yeah, just that. And it wasn't just the Dham that Gurudev was so absorbed in. He didn't just bring the Dham everywhere that he went, but Gurudev was so absorbed in in all the in of course Radha, Krishna, and all their associates, because he knew them. These weren't just people that he read about. These weren't just some theoretical thing, but it's people that he actually personally knew. He had real connection with these people. So when he would speak about Vrindavan, when he'd speak about about Mahaprabhu's Leelas and all of Mahaprabhu's associates, are Radha and Krishna's pastimes and all of their associates, when he'd speak about Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, the Sakas, the Gopis, Shrimati Radhika herself, these weren't just, usually when we hear about it or we read about it somewhere, they're just like some, theoretical, like, yeah, okay, these people exist, but there isn't any connection with them. But because Gurudeva was so intimately connected with all these people, when he spoke about them, they became real people to us. When you speak about any of our acharyas, you'd speak about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then you felt like you also had a direct connection with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He wasn't just some imaginary person, but he was a real person that you had a real connection with through Srila Gurudev. And that, this connection, Srila Gurudev, he, with people that you would never, all kinds of people, so many different kinds of people who weren't even at all interested in spiritual life, not even in the slightest, because Gurudev is so personal and making sambandha with everybody, making connection with everybody, asking how you're doing, like concerned about everybody, and so then everybody felt like this really deep connection. And because of his connection with Vrindavan and all these associates of Radha and Krishna, of Mahaprabhu, then he connected us with them. And so everything just became completely real. Nothing was, and so then whenever we read Shastra, all of a sudden after meeting Gurudev, all of a sudden the words came to life. Everything it wasn't just theoretical anymore, but everything that we were reading about became real. And then all of a sudden everything started to make sense. And that was just, that's only possible for a personality like Srila Gurudev. How much more longer do I have to speak? Sorry, it's 6 o'clock now.
I think you've got another 5 minutes, Madhukar.
Okay, another 5 minutes. Okay, so then, okay, just really quickly, see if I can say this in 5 minutes. I remember Shravan once he made he was glorifying Gurudev, and he said something, and I had a similar story. So but he said that in the very old days when Gurudev was in Badger, one day every day after class he'd walk to his room, and all the kids would be standing outside of his room, and we'd be singing Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, and then Gurudev asked the kids before he walked inside his room, he said, okay, when Krishna comes to you and he asks you, what do you want? I'm going to give you anything that you ask for. And so what are you going to tell Krishna when he asks you that? And then all the kids gave their little answers. Oh, I want to, I want to play with you. I want some kids, I want to even serve you. But then Gurudev said, okay, I'm giving you an instruction, all of you. When Krishna comes to you, this is what you're going to tell him. You say, Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smera Hasa Murali Manohara Radhika Rasika Mam Kripa Nide Swapriya Charanat Kinkarim Guru. You say, oh Sham Sundar, I don't want your service. I don't want to do any. I only want the service of your dear beloved Srimati Radhika. That's the one thing I want for. So Gurudev made the goal so clear for everybody, even for the little children. And one time when Gurudev, I have 2 minutes. Okay. One time, every year we had to say a shloka for Gurudev. And this is, I was really young then, this time. I don't know how old I was, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I was 10 or I don't know, I don't actually remember. But Tirthapad Prabhu, he asked me, what is our goal? And I said, I don't know. And then I tried giving some answers, and he said, no, our goal is Krishna Prem. That's the goal for everybody, is Krishna Prem. And so then I was like, okay, whatever. I didn't really care. And then when we said our shlokas for Gurudev, when he came to our school, then he asked me, he asked me that same question. What is our prayojan? What is our sadhya? What is our aim and object? And yeah, at first I was like shaking, like, oh my God, he's asking me a question. But then I was like, oh, I know the answer to this one. Thank God he asked me that question. And then I said very confidently, Krishna Prem. And then Gurudev said, no. And then I was like, what? But, and then Gurudev said, Radha Dasyam. So for Srila Gurudev, he made everything so crystal clear, even for the little children. You might go to other, devotees who've been practicing their whole lives and, other places and stuff, and you ask them what the goal is, they might not give you that very clear answer. But Gurudev wanted to make it so crystal clear, even to the little children. So that's one of these are just a couple unique specialities of Gurudev. There's so many, but I think I might be going over time now, right? So anyways, thank you. So, oh wait, actually no, I think I have 2 more minutes, right? Because I have 6:05. So I'll end on this. Yeah, just really, like, I myself don't feel so much separation from Gurudev, like just on a day-to-day thing. I don't really, because I haven't really truly served him. I haven't really made a true connection with him like other devotees. And so that's why I'm not feeling separation. Gurudev says if there's no service, then there's no love. If there's no love, then there's no real separation. But there is a time when I do start to feel something for Gurudev, and that's when I'm around all of Gurudev's dear, intimate family members, Gurudev's dear children, and that's when, and when they glorify Gurudev, and I see just a drop of the separation that they have, then I myself feel I get some feelings. There's a really, it's just one paragraph. There's a quote in Gaudiya Patrika. It says, just as the oceans of this world are distinct from each other and are thus divided according to their characteristic natures, similarly, oh wait, never mind. I'll skip that. Sorry, this paragraph. Why is it so important for a sadhak to experience separation? In order to give motion to any substance within the material world, some energy is needed. For example, with the help of excessive combustion, rockets carry a space shuttle across the layers of the atmosphere. Similarly, in the stage of sadhana, the sadhak will only make advancement when the fire of separation from Guru and Krishna is present. If properly ignited and blazed in the heart, this fire of separation can take the jiva beyond the many layers of this material creation to the spiritual world. When the sadhak associates with a devotee who is already experiencing the intense fire of separation, that fire is ignited within his own heart. So I'm just praying that I can always, throughout my life, even though I may go astray, I am not following properly, but please, I just pray that I may always, for the rest of my life, I may have the association of those devotees who are truly experiencing separation from Gurudev, and that by the fire in their hearts, that they can ignite the fire of separation within my heart. That's my only hope. Other than without that, I'm pretty hopeless. So I'm just praying that I can always have connection with Srila Gurudev like this through his disciples like that. Okay, I'm ending here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Thank you so much, Madhukar Prabhu. You said some really cool stuff, actually. Your experience in Baja with Gurudev, I can just imagine what it was like to have Gurudev so accessible and to be able to, and you see in so many videos of Gurudev in Baja and how we reciprocated with the children there. So I feel very fortunate that I'm actually speaking to someone that was that person. So that's super cool. And you were saying how Gurudev brought Braj to wherever he went, and he never really came to a country. He kind of just came in that place. And it reminded me of something I can't remember where I got this from, but of a disciple explaining how Srila Prabhupada never touched the floor of anywhere he walked. It was like he was walking on the cloud, like he wasn't touching the floor. So it really reminded me really reminded me of that, actually. And you know, you say that you have no separation, but you are with Srila Gurudev there in Navadvip. Not, I am not qualified to be there. So you are serving him there where he is manifested himself. So thank you for looking after him. Is what I'm
No, the
gonna
only
say.
time when I do feel a little something though is when I'm with Gurudev's dear disciples and they're speaking about Gurudev. Then I do start to feel a little something. But other than that, so that's why I'm so dependent on all of Gurudev's big family.
I think we all are, and we're all very fortunate to hear these different angles of Srila Gurudev. So the more we hear, the more we'll become closer to Srila Gurudev. And I think this is the aim of our Zoom programs, is to have that. So
Yes.
thank you so much.